Did Graham Stephan really just say that real estate isn't worth it? Is Graham Stephan getting out of real estate? Did the guy that inspired me to create this channel just say that real estate isn't worth it? We're going to have a conversation with Dion about this because, again, the man that solely is responsible for this channel's existing. When I was in Taiwan with my wife in 2018, I saw Graham Stephan talk about real estate, and I created this channel. But is he saying it's not worth it? Dion, what's going on, man? This is big news, at least for me.
Yeah. So around the same time, 2018, 2017, Graham didn't make me think I want to make a YouTube channel. What he did do is he had great content on, and he still does. Yeah. This is how you can work on your credit score. This is how you can look at a frugal lifestyle. I don't think he coined the phrase, but he was in the mix of the people that talked about avocado toast. Like that became the meme of a year or two. It might have actually been him because that's my brain associates it with him. So I still watch his content. I binge his old stuff. I recommend his old stuff. Anybody who has a millennial or a Gen Z, I'll send the videos from 2018, 2017 saying, hey, look, here's somebody you can relate to talking about these simple, not easy, but very simple concepts. And so it's brilliant. And I referenced him probably twice at BBCon in my speech. He acquired rentals to have consistent income so he could survive the early years of spiky income as a real estate agent. And I was working a job raising kids, and the idea of my rentals are creating consistent income in case I have spiky income, get laid off, get injured, career change, whatever it is, or want to try a new career. And so I've related most of what I've done in real estate to Graham Stephan, and in a weird way, Meet Kevin. Like they've collabed on a lot of things in the beginning.
Agreed. Me too.
And ton of respect for both of them. A ton of respect for both of them in that they're super successful on social media, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the following they have, the sponsors they have, the ability to create really good content that impacts a lot of people. That's how you get a viral video and make a ton of money. When he, in the last couple of videos I've seen, I can hear it in his voice. He's a tired landlord. He's what you look for. We picture them being 70. Going, yeah, I'm tired of this.
Not 35 or whatever he is. Right? Yeah.
I mean, he might be exactly half that ish now, but that's who we're looking for as investors, right? And so he's thinking, he gave the story of a $600 refrigerator had an $1,100 repair. And then he went into, because the ice maker did this and the water line did this. And I'm thinking, okay, I own Class C rentals, no ice maker. No water leaks. That was where my brain went. But I also went, well, buy a $600 refrigerator. Don't do the $1,100. Yeah. That's what he was mad with his property manager. Is probably it wasn't the right decision to handle that. And he is extremely frugal, even though he is a multi-millionaire.
Oh, he's got to be.
That's where the respect comes from. Is those things matter. That's why the big things work, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And if a person is in a position where they can make content and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can completely relate to the idea of $1,000 a month in passive income with a property manager not being worth it because you have to handle an email.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it's really funny because I've been lucky enough to interview Graham. I've lucky enough to be interviewed by Graham. I've been to his house. He spoke at my second year event. So I would consider Graham and I friends. I actually have two original Graham Stephan art pieces that I paid for in my studio that I'm talking from today. So I would argue that I know Graham Stephan better than most people. Certainly most people out here. He's got his close circle of friends, and I'm not anywhere on that radar. But I know the guy. I've been with the guy. And equally, Meet Kevin. I spoke at Meet Kevin's event. I've been to his studio in SoCal. I've interviewed him a couple times. And so again, I know these guys behind the camera. And the first thing I'll say about both of them is they are super hard workers. Both of them. They take this profession extremely focused, right? Meet Kevin leans into more content, better, very much, don't edit, just go. Graham Stephan's very much, break it down frame by frame. And, I really, And again, it's funny. I'm thinking about this in real time, and I go back to a conversation we had about Ryan Pineda, I don't know, a couple of 3 weeks ago. And it's really dawning on me now that some people, Graham, Ryan, Meet Kevin, have an ability to produce extraordinarily amounts of income with very focused effort. And thus, what may work for the masses who don't have that, right? I called Ryan Pineda positively a unicorn, right? He's a unicorn. How he works in his brain and how he starts businesses, and this new Mastermind 19 that he's created it's already a 7-figure business, and it's been around like 7 seconds. I mean, he's just magical. I think about Graham the same way, right? One of the things that you know about Graham is he's super rational, right? He thinks in inputs and outputs. And what do I mean by that? He thinks in time, like minutes, in frames, and then he looks at the output. So as we're talking about this refrigerator and this water leak and this 1,100 and 600, let me just tell you right now, an $1,100 expense is nowhere on his radar. But what hits Graham is the 17 minutes he has to think about it.
Yeah.
Because that's 17 minutes he's not doing his highest and best use. It's an opportunity cost to Graham. So it is not shocking to me, and I don't know what he's doing because I haven't asked him. I may call him or text him after this and figure it out. I don't know if he's selling everything, but it sounds like he may be leaning that direction because, again, what is Graham Stephan's highest and best use of time? It's to create the greatest video. I mean, he's got like 5 million views. The guy puts out a video and makes, I don't know, let's call it $100,000 a video. So the answer is that's what you should do, right? Don't own rentals. You know what, folks? I'm going to say this as the one rental at a time guy. If you can work for 8 hours or 12 hours producing a 12 or 15-minute video and make $100,000, just do that. Forget real estate. If that's you, just do that.
He is also diversified in stocks and, probably crypto, dollar cost averaging. I mean, he's doing smart things with his money, moving to Vegas, probably saving more money in taxes than the house costs over time.
Guaranteed.
So he makes
guaranteed
big lever moves that make his life better, right? So I think he should continue to make content because it is helping a lot of people to think of
and he's
life.
Really good at it. He's really good at it. Yeah.
But here's my concern. So for a long time, Bigger Pockets, and this is on my mind because you and I just presented at BPCon 2025, and they became the largest real estate podcast in the world. Both Meet Kevin and Graham Stephan have been on it and interviewed the hosts. And they made a shift at Bigger Pockets because, and this is my opinion, this is not nothing that I've heard from Bigger Pockets. This is just me thinking this is why it went the way it did. Brandon Turner was in Washington State. He had 24 rentals. He moved to Hawaii, house hacked a triplex. Everybody watching Bigger Pockets was thinking, I could be Brandon Turner. I could acquire 24 rentals over 20 years, maybe, or 10 years. I could probably house hack in Hawaii. That all sounds amazing. And then he became a syndicator in a mobile home park, 50 units attached to city water, city sewer, and like all these big things that not enough viewers wanted to become.
Yeah, I didn't want to become that. Exactly. Yep.
David Green, police officer, buys some rentals, becomes a host, really good at interviewing people. I didn't get to even say hi, saw him at the event. But then he becomes a broker and he has all these agents working for him and he grows a big, huge business. And we don't want to become that. We're looking for financial freedom through real estate. Yeah. So Graham, the first several years watching him is like, I want to be that. I want to be the person who has enough rentals to where I can make life choices without worrying about spiky income or no income and go make life choices. So now Graham is really big on YouTube, and he did talk about taking a big hit on his income. Like it was a lot in 2021, 2022 with YouTube. It's come down significantly. So we say $100,000 a video, he maybe makes 40. People thinking I can make $40,000 on a video would be huge, but that's a 60% cut. Like,
yeah. And just so you know, folks, again, this is dead on. So I made almost $100,000 in 2021. I now make 35. So this is a real deal. And that's just AdSense. So it's down 60 or 70% for all creators.
Correct. And so that would be the warning for me to Graham. And he will never take a warning from me. But YouTube could shut down tomorrow. Instagram could shut down tomorrow. In 6 months or a year, AI could make content with a voice and a face in minutes by just telling it, I want to cover this topic, make a video, and we get what's called AI slosh.
Yeah.
And it's just, YouTube's trying to fight it. They've demonetized channels. They say, you can put the AI content out there. We're not paying you for it. We're not even if you have enough views and enough subscribers. But all of those things could happen. I guarantee Graham is smart enough to where if YouTube shut down tomorrow and this revenue source just disappeared, he'd be fine for life.
Oh yeah, he'd be fine for life.
And that's where I think most people, for me, the asset class is real estate.
Well, that's where I saw the issue. This isn't about Graham. And I think even Graham would admit that. And I think Graham is making the logical and most efficient decision for Graham getting out. I don't even know what he has. I think he has 5 or 7 rentals in Southern California. That's what he had before he moved to Vegas. I don't think he's added anything. So I think he's doing the right thing for him. But to me, it's the message it sends. It's like real estate's not worth it. And yes, it's not worth it if you're a unicorn. If you can make 40 to 50 to 60 grand a video, right? There's like 7 people in the world that can do that. The other one, one of them being Mr. Beast, right? He's on that level, right? So if you're one of 7 unicorns in the world, by all means, you're a creator and you should do what you're uniquely gifted at. But to me, it's that message. Again, I said it at the opening. This channel only exists because I saw a Graham Stephan video talking about, owning a rental property and the good, bad, and the ugly. And at the time, we had over 100. And I'm like, well, I could do that too. I've got, more than 7. So that's why this channel exists, is because of him. So now, seeing Graham with the message that real estate might not be worth it, it has to be not worth it, for me. I think for most people, and by most, I'm in the 90 percentile. It might be the 99 percentile. It's the best way for most people to get wealthy. Buy an asset, 30-year fixed, cash flow day one, hold it for 30 years. Your chances of getting wealthy are great. I would tell you your chances of being wealthy with real estate are a lot better than being wealthy on YouTube. Right? If you stack up all the people that became millionaires with real estate and all the ones that became millionaires being YouTube creators, I'll take that. I'll take those real estate odds.
Yeah, and we say this often in the real estate space, is that there's no one right way, but there's a one right way for you. And I think that comes to also the asset class that you choose. We talk with people who invest in crypto. We talk with people who invest in stocks. We talk with people who own businesses or grow businesses. And there is no one right way, but each person has a right way for them. I think for the majority of wealthy people, no matter which asset class they choose, real estate is a component.
Yeah, that was a big talk of my speech. That was step 2. Find the thing that speaks to you, right? And find your passion and lean in. There's people making lots of money with whatever your passion is. Like, our boy Matt's got a 7-figure portfolio of vintage, hockey and football cards. Come on, right? If that doesn't inspire you to try to turn your passion into income streams, I don't know what does. So yeah, find your thing.
One day I should tally up the value of all my firearms, but they were lost in a tragic boating accident. So I actually don't know the value that they were.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, again, I think if I'm sure if I asked Graham Stephan if real estate's worth it for most people, he would say absolutely yes. But I also think he would say that it's not worth it for me. And I think he's right on both occasions. I think, I would tell him to get out. If it takes up more than 17 minutes for a $700 or $1,100 ice thing, it's not worth his cycles. It's just, he's got better opportunity costs elsewhere.
I think a lot of people who invest in real estate watch Graham Stephan. And I think some people are going to make content, and I will challenge anybody who says he's wrong, because he's right for him.
He is right for him. I agree 100%. But I would hope, and I might call him and ask, is it right for everybody? And Graham is the kind of dude who says, no, it's not right for everybody. It's just right for me. And I think he's right on both occasions.
Right.
Dion, where can people?
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people who should never own real estate. They couldn't talk to a property manager or a tenant. So a little more passive stock or crypto is the answer for them. But
index funds. Do something.
Watch 2017 to 2020 Graham and do that.
Do that. He is amazing. Again, Dion, where can they find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where I do a live stream every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific that lasts as long as the questions do.
Awesome, man. Take care. Thanks.